Pursuit of knowledge. We make choices every day, but some choices are more important than other choices. Such as whether we should continue the search for the truth, the knowledge. We don't usually make the right decisions, but those are the mistakes we learn from. The choices we have made in the past, the choices we are making today, all of them are things to be learned from. George Santayana once said, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." This I find to be a great quote because it illustrates that which should be plainly obvious to the eye, but remains hidden from plain sight. I guess most things in life are like that. This is what I love about science, history, everything we are studying, that only what can be seen through evidence is considered the truth, and everything we should consider as truth should be supported by and not be against evidence. But our efforts are hindered by things like war, the lack of funding for research, superstition, and maybe even fundamentalist religion. We insist on studying, on discovering earlier and earlier history, both human history and the history of the universe. Our search for what humankind did before we could keep records is getting more and more complicated, and soon we will run out of things to look for. Our quest for the knowledge of what was before us has never before been as vast. So, my lesson for the future is that if we stop research, cut the funding, or generally tamper with science or history, we stop the only thing that could possibly advance our species, that could possibly help us. For example, like George W. Bush did with stem cell research in the United States. And speaking of stem cell research, it could cure cancer, blindness, deafness, and a number of other horrible diseases, but currently its only use is for bone marrow transplantation. Even though bone marrow transplantation is a really big deal, and a very important thing, it is not even 1% of what we could and should achieve. If you ask me what I thought the thing was that made us human, it would be knowledge and the search for it. Because without knowledge, humanity is nothing, and without science, humanity is no different from any other species. Without basic knowledge and understanding of human anatomy, our lifespan would not exceed 30 years. In fact, 20 years would be considered a long life. If we keep on fighting the wars we are fighting, remain in constant and willful ignorance, and not pursue real and proper knowledge, then we are not going to succeed. Not in the short term, and definitely not in the long term. If we continue the way we have been, through wars and disease, superstition and ignorance, recognize terror and pursue peace, is there even a future from which lessons are to be learned? So, from all my heart, I beg of you not to stop the search for answers, the quest of uttermost importance for the truth, if not for anything else, but for the future, for there to be a future. Make the right choices. Thank you.